Okay, so today's topic, we're going to be talking about Kyrie Irving, the situation surrounding Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Before I begin today's topic, I want to stress and let you guys know that this is going to be a long, lengthy video. So if you don't like long, lengthy videos, best want to bypass this video because I got a lot of stuff to talk about and also have an opinion to discuss as well on this particular topic. So Kyrie Irving, to catch everyone up to speed, Kyrie Irving decided not to take the vaccine and trying to, as the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets organization, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, I think his name is Sean Marks, as well as Kyrie Irving, tried to put in parameters where he can miss some games, maybe attend home games, maybe attend practices, things of that nature, because he did not want it to take the vaccine. And Kyrie Irving feels like everyone should have a choice in taking the vaccine, which is absolutely right. Everyone does have a choice whether or not to take the vaccine. I'm just not sure that everyone in this current climate understands that there's also consequences and risk and responsibility of not taking the vaccine. But that's another topic in another video. I don't want to make this video already long as it's going to be. So Kyrie Irving decided not to take the vaccine. The Brooklyn Nets, as well as the owner and as well as Kyrie Irving's teammates, supported his decision and tried to put in parameters to see somehow, some way Kyrie Irving can still somehow return to the league. Now, after a lot of pressure, particularly in New York, they have a mandate. Any employee that works around customers or work around people has to take the vaccine. Okay. Medical workers, police officers, firefighters, politicians, the restaurant industry, the fashion industry, doesn't matter your job title. They're mandating people to take the vaccine, and there's no real way around this where both sides can be happy. Kyrie Irving can be happy. He doesn't necessarily have to be forced to take the vaccine. The Brooklyn Nets are happy because Kyrie Irving is going to be playing alongside them. But I felt like the Brooklyn Nets felt like this was like the one final straw they were not willing to do. Now, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and somewhat James Harden, they allowed them to do whatever. But on this particular topic, they felt like they're not going to risk anyone's else health because of Kyrie Irving deciding not to take the vaccine. Not only that, the NBA has a mandate and a parameter in place where everyone has to take the vaccine. Now, there have been players here and there saying that they're not going to take the vaccine. Well, then if you don't take the vaccine, you will not be able to attend practice or home or away games, anything with the parameters of the NBA. And a lot of players just said, you know what, let me just go ahead and take the vaccine because there's risk and responsibility of me not taking the vaccine. Once again, everyone is free to do whatever they want to do. Yes, this is America, but I feel like people are not aware that there are risks and responsibilities that you have to know going in if you do not want to take the vaccine. COVID is a lot of people are dying from COVID. Now, the vaccine does not eliminate you from not getting sick or losing your life due to COVID, but the risks are low if you do have the vaccine versus not having the vaccine, and the risks are high. If you look at a lot of articles, if you've been watching the news, the current trend is a lot of people that are catching this disease or getting sick from this disease, dying from this disease, are people who are not taking the vaccine. Now, there have been incidents where people that gotten this vaccine are also getting sick and possibly dying, but the risks are low. And if by you getting this vaccine, you can fight off this COVID somewhat. Okay, if your immune system is strong, if you have the vaccine in your system, you have an opportunity to fight this disease and not lose your life. So Kyrie Irving said that, he wants to be the voice of the voiceless and decided not to take the vaccine. Now, the owner, as well as the Brooklyn Nets, as well as, mainly the organization of the Brooklyn Nets, decided, we respect your decision, but we have to move forward. We hope that one day you decide on taking the vaccine. However, we have to continue to mandate everyone taking the vaccine. We respect your decision, but we have to move on. Now, there have been a lot of things in the news that has happened thus far with Kyrie Irving's decision. The Brooklyn Nets have already signed Kevin Durant. They're in the process of also signing James Harden. They pulled away the extension off the table for Kyrie Irving. And they're making life, they're moving forward. And publicly, they're saying that they respect Kyrie Irving's decision. Publicly, they're also saying that they hope and pray Kyrie Irving returns to the team. But they're looking at this as Kyrie Irving is no longer with the Brooklyn Nets. If you look at the actions thus far, what the Brooklyn Nets organization has done, as well as the recent comments of the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, I still feel like his name is not Sean Marks, but anywho, if I butchered his name, I apologize. They're moving forward. And they got the blessing of the other teammates of Kevin Durant, more importantly, of people that had the vaccine, and they're cool with the decision that they made about Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie Irving is no stranger to this. He's always had this mentality of fighting against the man, fighting against the machine, fighting against the corporation and the owners. This is his third team. This is his third stop. And I hate to go through a timeline with Kyrie Irving, but he had an issue with the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. He had somewhat of an issue with LeBron James. Okay. He went to the Boston Celtics. He wanted his own team. He got his own team. He was the man. He was surrounded by a lot of talent. And he couldn't get it to work out with the Boston Celtics organization. He clashed with Brad Stevens. He also clashed somewhat with Danny Ainge with philosophy. And he also clashed with some of his teammates. Truth be told and truth be known, when Kyrie Irving went down, and that's another perspective a lot of people are now talking about, why the Brooklyn Nets pulled that extension, and we'll talk about it a little bit later in this video. When Kyrie Irving went down, the Boston Celtics were actually a better team and advanced even further in the playoffs without Kyrie Irving. And then the next following year, they just crashed and burned with Kyrie Irving. Now, Kyrie Irving left the Boston Celtics. He felt like there was, and if anyone's been at Boston, there's with Boston, I'm not saying the whole Boston community, but you do have a sense of racism there. But racism exists in every state. I'm not going to say, in some states, and in Boston is at the highest level, and at somewhere else is at the lowest level. Racism is racism, and we all have to deal with it, okay, until we can finally abolish and end racism, okay? And here we are in 2021, we're still talking about racism, All right. And he was not too fond with the Boston fans and the Boston community because of that. And he went to Brooklyn. In the first year with Brooklyn, he was cool because they gave Kyrie Irving wherever he wanted. They treated Kyrie Irving like he won multiple championships. They treated Kyrie Irving on the same level as a Kevin Durant, which I felt like that's the one thing they should not have done. But to get the blessings of Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant is co-signing Kyrie Irving, they had no choice but to go this way. So they sort of pacified this situation. They sort of cradled and babied this situation. And now here we are. Now they're having issues with Kyrie Irving, just like the Boston Celtics and just like the Cleveland Cavaliers had issues with Kyrie Irving. Now, there is a possibility, and there's a lot of people that are saying this trend, that Kyrie Irving is the type of individual that if push comes to shove, he's willing to retire from the NBA. Kyrie Irving is not like a LeBron James. It's not like a Kevin Durant somewhat. He's not like a lot of players that's totally committed in basketball. Kyrie Irving is, he's a basketball player, but he wants to be known more than just a basketball player, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Kyrie Irving really, when you talk about Kyrie Irving does not put basketball first, okay, or even put basketball second. I really think basketball in Kyrie Irving's life is like fifth or sixth, okay? He just happens to play basketball. He just happens to be talented, and he will continue to play basketball, but it's not the top thing in his top 10. I feel like basketball is like 6th or 7th in Kyrie Irving's interests, okay? So, to make a long story short and a short story interesting, Kyrie Irving, this is where we are today with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving did an Instagram Live. He defended his action, and he also said he's the voice of the voiceless. He also said that he said a lot of crazy things on IG. Let me rephrase that. It's not crazy things, but it's just his perspective is all over the place. Let's just go to be fair, be honest. He said he's the voice of the voiceless. He's for the people that took the vaccine and for the people that that don't want to take the vaccine. I mean, he's all over the place. He's sort of middle field with this vaccine issue. He also called out several people like Stephen A. Smith, calling them puppets and things of that nature. Okay, so here's my opinion on all this. And I feel like the NBA, when you look at today's NBA, this is the creation of their monsters. They really given all the power to the players. They are allowing players to do whatever they want, say whatever they want with no consequences, no repercussions. I feel like in this year, a lot of owners are starting to push back. And Ben Simmons and his drama with the Philadelphia 76ers, he said he's willing to hold out. And the Philadelphia 76ers says, okay, you can hold out, but we're gonna ask for that money back. And now Ben Simmons is playing for the Philadelphia 76ers because, you have the right to do anything. And let me go into other things that's going on in the NBA. I forgot the player that plays for the Golden State Warriors. He refused to take the vaccine, and the Golden State Warriors said, okay, well, if you don't want to take the vaccine, that's cool. We'll just sit you down and we'll try out these other players on the roster, and they may take your spot. Now he's saying, well, you know what? I'll take the vaccine. Again, you have the right to do whatever you want to do, but understand there is consequences and repercussions and responsibilities to your actions. All right. And I feel like this year is the year where a lot of owners, they're growing weary of a lot of these players. I think this is a build up of a lot of frustration with the players. Today's NBA it's player oriented. Players get final say, and well, star players get final say in everything. I think the Damian Lillard thing, I think now that has cooled down, but I felt like the last straw, sort of say, was with the James Harden thing. James Harden demanded a trade from Houston, and Houston was and he had years remaining. He had years remaining on his contract, and Houston was forced to trade James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets. And in return, yes, they got a bunch of draft picks, a multitude of draft picks. They also got players, but you have to look at the Houston Rockets' position at that particular time. They were a playoff team, and they were contending to be a playoff team. Now they are, playing for draft picks, building the future. And I felt like that was the final straw with a lot of owners. And I forgot oh my God, I had a whole lot of examples. Anyway, several other players saying, well, I'm not going to play. I'm, forcing you guys to buy out my contract. That was going on last year as well. I think owners are getting tired of the player privileges that a lot of players are getting. Kawhi Leonard, getting everything he wants, because the Clippers had to pretty much co-sign to everything what Kyrie Irving, Kawhi wanted and his family wanted, and they had to co-sign to it. Otherwise, if they didn't, the Lakers were willing to do those same things as well. So I feel like this is in different phases. I feel like, one, the owners are getting tired and getting weary of the players dictating what they want to do. All right. I feel like, two, this disease has not slowed down. A lot of doctors, scientists, people in the medical field felt like if more and more people took the vaccine, this disease is going to slow down. You got a whole lot of misinformation about this vaccine on social media. I feel like the vaccine itself has slowed a lot of things down, and the NBA don't want to return back into a bubble season where, all the important games are played at one place, and owners are losing revenue because of that. And third, I feel like social media is it could be a gift and a curse at the same time. It's a gift as far as an individual having a platform to tell their side of the story or share their opinions and things of that nature. Those are blessings. I feel like everyone has the ability to voice how they feel or what they think or what they have researched and things of that nature. However, it's a curse because a lot of people gravitate to social media, and whoever they follow, that's the gospel, that's the truth. They're not going to, they're unwilling to allow other people to tell their side of the truth, and they feel like whoever they follow, they're telling the absolute truths of truths. And I feel like that's another reason why. So you got a combination of all these things, and truth be told, someone in Kyrie Irving's inner circle, whether it's his family member, his agent, or whatnot, someone that is not going to be afraid to get fired by Kyrie Irving, or Kyrie Irving no longer wants to speak to them no more. Someone has to get into his ear and let him know what's important to you. Okay? Kyrie Irving has the opportunity to play alongside Kevin Durant and James Harden and win a title. They can absolutely win a title this year. They had the capabilities of winning it last year, but due to a lot of injuries, they just couldn't make it. All right. If you have all three of those guys, and all three of those guys are healthy throughout the season and into the playoffs and also into the finals, they are a tough out, whoever they play against. And I feel like Kyrie Irving is one of those type of players, such as a Ben Simmons. You know, winning a championship is not numero uno to them. Okay. What's numero uno to them is going to an organization that's going to allow them to do and allow them to be free and allow them to do whatever they want to do. All right. These guys are hugely talented, but I just don't think winning is important in Kyrie Irving's DNA. I don't think winning is ultimately is important to Ben Simmons and Damian Lillard. I get this. I get sense of winning is not priority number one on his top 5 list. I really think that if they go to an organization that's going to allow them to do whatever they want to do, say what they want to say, I feel like just the fame alone and the influence they have on social media as well as with the organization, I feel like that's a championship ring for individuals like that. I think Kyrie Irving is perfectly happy. I think he's perfectly happy just playing basketball, but he has other interests, okay? I feel like Kyrie Irving is one of those type of people that when he leaves basketball, he's going to do other things besides basketball. I don't think basketball is going to be the end all and be all. I don't think Kyrie Irving, when he leaves basketball, he's going to continue to sell sneakers and merch. I don't think that's in Kyrie Irving's DNA. I feel like Kyrie Irving is the type of person that wants to be involved in a multitude of things. I feel like Kyrie Irving wants to be involved in politics, but he doesn't want to invest heavily into politics. I feel like Kyrie Irving is interested in the NBA, of becoming a professional basketball player, but he does not want to invest fully, and he wants to be able to jump in and out of different positions. Okay, so Kyrie Irving is that type of individual. So I hope someone can talk to Kyrie Irving and convince him that, do you really want to die on this hill? Do you really want to die on this hill, lose your prime years as a basketball player? You really want to take this position. Now, another part of me thinks that Kyrie Irving is the type of person that he doesn't want to play a full season. And if there's an out or an excuse he can utilize or use, best believe Kyrie Irving is going to do it. So I feel like he's also that type of player. He has demonstrated that through the years, okay, on several teams. And it's just a sad thing. Now, things can change. Kyrie Irving's position could change. Kyrie Irving could go back to the Brooklyn Nets tonight or tomorrow. And if he does that, that's another player that had a hard stand on something, and the organization, the owner, the coaching staff, the other players are getting bored and tired of players like this. And sooner rather than later, you're going to start seeing a lot of players saying, well, maybe I shouldn't be so hard and be so stern on this position, because look at all the other examples of people being hard and stern on a certain position, and then they had to change their stance. And I feel like this will be a huge a huge blow to players like a Kyrie Irving. But anyway, that's all I got for today's topic. Guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. It's your boy. I'm up out of here. Deuces.